They conquered the land. They mapped the oceans. They infiltrated your screens and your thoughts. But one frontier remained untouched, the sky itself. For centuries, the heavens were the last place untouched by human manipulation, a place of mystery, of awe, of truth. Until now, because beneath the quiet hum of satellites, beneath the veil of drifting clouds, a new kind of projector is being calibrated. A projector not built for entertainment, but for influence. And in the emerging reality of 2026, even the stars above you may no longer be stars at all. Today on Vantage Elite, we decode the blue beam deception, a speculative blueprint whispered in intelligence circles, discussed in black budget research, and dismissed publicly as fiction. Yet the technology behind it is very real. We follow the trail from atmospheric laser research to psychological warfare simulations to the labs designing tomorrow's most powerful medium, the sky screen. This is not about optics. This is about perception and who gets to own it. The gatekeepers of the past controlled what you read. The gatekeepers of the future will control what you see in the heavens. To grasp the 2026 agenda, we must understand the rise of sky screen technologies, a global mesh of satellites, lasers, and atmospheric modifiers capable of shaping the visible sky. You were told satellite constellations were for connectivity, faster internet, better navigation, global access. But a satellite network that can transmit data can also transmit light. Researchers, both public and private, have explored atmosphere as lens technology for decades. Light bending, cloud scattering, high-altitude reflective aerosols. Individually, these seem harmless. Together, they form the foundation of an enormous projection system. According to speculative analyses, by January 2026, the infrastructure for continent-scale holographic illusions could theoretically exist. Not the cartoonish holograms of sci-fi movies, but advanced atmospheric illusions designed to mimic light, shape, movement, and scale. A phenomenon so vast it could appear as a new star, a celestial event, or something else entirely. In this emerging world, the sky becomes a canvas and perception becomes programmable. Vision shapes belief, but sound shapes emotion. In speculative black budget research, there exists a concept known as holographic acoustic pairing, where visual projections synchronize with atmospheric audio patterns. Some researchers call this voice-to-skull physics, others call it directed modulation. Whatever the term, the premise is simple. If you can project an image and pair it with a personalized sound, you don't just influence what someone sees, you influence what they feel. By mid-2026, some futurists warn of technologies capable of transmitting low-frequency emotional cues, tones that trigger awe, fear, unity, or submission. Imagine a massive image appearing in the sky and a voice in your own language speaking directly to your subconscious. In a world already fractured by conflict, such a spectacle could unify populations, override critical thinking, or steer collective emotion. The theater is global, and the audience is everyone with eyes and ears. Why would anyone design a system capable of manipulating the sky? Why now? Because history reveals a pattern. When civilizations fracture, leaders turn to a common enemy to unite the masses, a threat large enough, foreign enough, and dramatic enough to override all borders. Some analysts speculate that if global chaos peaks in 2026, the temptation to create a synchronized sky event may become politically useful. Whether the narrative is cosmic, spiritual, or technological matters less than its emotional impact. For if the world sees something impossible, something overwhelming, something unifying, millions may willingly surrender sovereignty in exchange for safety. In this scenario, the danger is not an invasion from above. The danger is the projection. 2026 may be the year human intuition is finally bypassed by spectacle. Reports suggest that atmospheric conductivity experiments are already being conducted, not for weather, but for light clarity. Clearer projection, sharper imagery, more reactive skies. When the medium becomes perfect, the illusion becomes indistinguishable from reality. In such a world, your eyes become unreliable witnesses, your instincts become outdated tools, your sense of truth becomes outsourced to the very systems crafting your perception. This is the apex of the great deception, where truth is not what exists, but what is allowed to be seen, where the sky is no longer a mirror of cosmic truth, but a screen for psychological influence. And in that moment, freedom becomes a perspective controlled by others. Before we decode the final layer, we must pause and understand the human side of perception control. A child looks up at the sky to feel wonder. A soldier looks up for direction. A parent looks up for peace. When the sky becomes programmable, wonder becomes manipulated. Direction becomes engineered, peace becomes conditional, and the mind, the last private frontier, loses one more sanctuary. Imagine a world where a community sees a sign in the sky and makes life-changing decisions. A family panics at a staged celestial display they do not understand. A population unites under an illusion crafted with precision. These are not science fiction fears. These are emotional truths. Because the sky has always been our oldest source of meaning. To rewrite it is to rewrite us. History teaches us, whoever controls the story controls the species. From cave paintings to holy symbols, to televised wars, to holographic skies, the tools change, but the strategy remains the same. The sun is setting on objective reality, the projectors are warming, the lasers are aligning, and the sky itself is being prepared as the final battlefield for perception. At Vantage Elite, we do not merely report events, we decode survival. Because truth is not comfort, truth is preparation, and preparation is freedom. Thank you for joining us on this investigation. To stay ahead of the 2026 horizon, subscribe and remain inside the circle. The curtain is rising, the lasers are humming, and the show is about to begin. See you at the top.